to Cooking with Clergy. Actually, I'm going to cook today, but I want to first show you my new coffee cup. This one is for strong coffee, probably like Wanda would fix, but I couldn't take much of it. So that's my new coffee cup. I'm going to show you the cookbook I use. It is the Better Homes and Gardens new cookbook. Obviously, this book is not new, but the page that I turn to is 238, Perfect Apple Pie. So I prepared the apples, all but one, and it's you just core them. Now the kind of apple you use is important. You don't want a sweet apple. You want a bit of a tart apple. This is a Pink Lady, and I usually use 6 apples. And the way that I prepare them, I cut them in half, then I cut it in fourths, and then I get the core out. And the inside of the apple on the ends. Get those things off, get the core out. Not a hard thing to do, just a lot of work to get all the apples prepared. And the last one for this apple. Usually my little dog is over here wanting apple. She loves apples. She's not aware that I'm dealing with apples, obviously, because she's not over here. Then you cut the apple, come on closer. Cut the apples with thin slices. I know a famous apple pie maker who stacks all of those in the pie. I don't. I cut them thin, and then I cut them again. We go this, and like this. Then I put it into this bowl, which kind of guides me about how much I need to use. And that's probably about enough. So I'll have to eat the rest of these, or most of them. Then I prepared from the recipe a half to 1 cup of sugar, and I usually use a cup, and then 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, 1/2 to 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. It's always 1 teaspoon for me, and a dash of nutmeg. And then you prepare the, I'm going to pour this over the apples, and we'll mix it up so that it's all covered. And by the way, these are delicious just like this. So we've got that pretty much mixed, and there'll be some in the bottom of the bowl that we'll pour over the top of it. Let me wash. Now, the crust, I've never made a crust. I don't intend to learn how. I use Pillsbury pie crusts. There comes 2 in a package. I've already put 1 into the bowl. I use a Pampered Chef deep dish bowl because it holds more apples. And I like how it cooks. But I've already started the oven at 400 degrees. I'm going to use the scissors here to cut this open so I can get to it fast. This is the top crust. Now you want your crust to sit out a little while, but you don't want it to sit out so long that it gets soft. Once it gets soft, you can't unroll it without tearing it up. And you don't want to tear up your crust, obviously. I'm going to put this away. Now I take the apples and put them into the bottom pie crust. You want plenty of apples. And there's the goody part that comes out of the bowl. Spread them out as well as you can. These over here are not going to matter. But you want all the goody in there. Now, how to do the top crust. I had to learn this the slow way. The top crust goes, of course, on the top. And it's still cold enough that I can mold it. Now, I had to learn how to not have this melt or ooze all over the bottom of the oven. And for that, I need some water. And I am going to seal the bottom crust and the top crust so that they stick together. Put a little water on each, and then I stick them together. It's the only way I know. Kind of paste it because the flour sticks in there, sealing in the grape juice and not filling the bottom of the oven with it. That's not to say that it never leaks, but rarely anymore, because I make sure to get everything wet and to seal it up down on the inside. Those good apples there. Okay, I'm almost finished sealing it up, gluing it together. Oh, I forgot the butter. So usually I have to stick the butter in those. You have to put in 2 tablespoons of butter. I was going to remember to do that while I was doing this show. Okay. That works. Butter makes everything better, right?
Right.
Just ask Paula Deen. That was my mother's key as well. Butter makes it better. And that should be enough. Here we go. Too bad I forgot to put that in before I put the crust on. But you have to slip the crust a little bit anyway so that the vapors come out. Now, that's an ugly side. What did I do with my paper towels? Now you have to work on the crust. We can put the water away. We've got a little bit of extra hanging off of the pan. So we're going to trim that off. And then we're going to make it look nice. We're going to flute it. And because crust edges burn easy, so you do have to protect the crust, the outside crust, so that it doesn't burn. And now I'm ready to put it in the oven. It's been heated to 400 degrees, and we have a double oven. We're going to cook it on the top, and it takes 50 minutes. And so I'll see you in an hour with a piping hot pie. should be ready. It's all finished. We'll let it cool and we'll cut it in the morning. I'll see you next time on Cooking with Clergy.